This is Doxy Mom, and welcome back to my channel. I got Miss Indy with us today, and we are going to bring you the news. Maybe not in 15 minutes today. I don't know. We got a lot to cover, so let's get started, shall we? I first want to read a small part of an email from America's Frontline Doctors, Dr. Simone Gold, you know, the white coat doctors that came out during COVID, and this is what she had to say on the shooting. She said, "Let me share with you how I, an emergency physician, experienced this news. I saw blood at the president's ear. For me, this signaled that we stood millimeters away from disaster. I am very experienced treating gunshot wounds, and I immediately prayed the bullet missed his neck, which is one of the most critical and vulnerable areas of the body. Any injury to the carotid artery, internal jugular vein, or spinal cord could kill him quickly. And a non-fatal injury could be extremely debilitating." And believe me, guys, I sit here as a disabled person, and let me tell you, that we did not want any of these things to happen, such as hitting the vocal cords, the larynx. I mean, could you imagine him not being able to speak anymore? How devastating. The esophagus, the brain, depending upon the bullet's trajectory. I happened to be in the center of New York City in Times Square, and guess what? Not a single billboard or screen showed anything that was unfolding. I was literally surrounded by enormous television monitors displaying news, sports, entertainment, and not a single one carried the breaking story of Trump being shot at and wounded in an assassination attempt. Because, I mean, gosh, I just, that is so hard to believe. But now the one thing that I do know, God's angel was standing behind our president that day, President Donald J. Trump. And to me, the Lord has anointed President Trump. Okay, I've heard that from many different prophets, and he has a job to do, y'all. He's going to be our president very soon. Of course, y'all know I believe the military's running things. He's still the commander in chief. You can watch other videos about that, but I watched a video with a former White House physician and now Texas Congressman Ronnie Jackson on Sunday Morning Futures with Maria Bartiromo. Don't y'all just love her? Anyway, the doc, and that's who I'm just going to call him Doc, okay? Because I'm going to talk about him several times during this video, but we're just going to say Doc examined President Trump following the shooting and gave an update. And before I get into all that, I watched so many videos, more videos than ever in a week in my life, I believe, since President Trump got shot, just trying to get as much information as possible. But in this one video, which was appalling, every single person that was interviewed, and these were like, I don't know, 5 or 6 people from California, they all said, "Oh, it was staged. It didn't happen. That was fake." And I'm like, are you kidding me? I thought it was mainly conservatives that question things. I question things many times. And guys, I know what gunshots sound like. I got a neighbor who fires all the time. I mean, every day he is over there shooting off his gun. So I know what gunshots sound like. Now, I may not know all the lingo. I'm not at the shooting range all the time. I have a gun. My husband has a gun. My nephew has a gun. A lot of people I know have guns. And I got a nephew that can shoot better than probably a lot of people in the world, okay? And he could have made that shot like that. But the thing is, I know what gunshots sound like. And the fake news saying, oh, popping sounds. It was popping sounds. And all those terrible, we had to get him off of the stage. He fell. Or we heard popping sounds, so we had to get him off the stage. Y'all, I knew immediately that my president had been shot right then and there, and praise Jesus that the shooter missed. Well, except for his little ear, and we'll talk about that. But y'all, it's so sad. This man, this firefighter, this father, this husband that was shot and killed. Please continue to pray for his family. You know that they'll be grieving for such a long time. And just ask the Lord that he will give their family peace and comfort. Also, pray for the other 2 people who were shot. We rarely hear about them at all. But we just need them to recover quickly because they don't want to wake up disabled either. But I was listening also to Governor Mike Huckabee, and he was on Fox News, and they showed a clip of Bill Maher, that guy on nighttime television. I've seen his picture. I don't really know who he is. Certainly don't listen to him. Y'all, he was mocking God. It was terrible. Bill said, he said how Republicans turn every event into a DM from heaven. And that was like the easiest thing that he had said. It was just pure mockery. So Governor Huckabee pointed out that if you mock God, it doesn't end well. All right. And the governor said, we have a culture that is worshiping the created rather than the creator. So there's people on the left that worship the earth, the environment, and all these things that God made, but they don't believe God made them. But as Christians, we believe in one God. He created everything. He sent his son, Jesus, to live on this earth for 33 perfect sinless years, and he died, and he rose, and he is alive today. But he says we are to be caretakers of this earth, but we're not slaves to this earth. But these people, Governor Huckabee was talking about, they have a reverse view of the world. So they dismiss God. They don't take him seriously. They take themselves seriously. And Governor Huckabee, he laid down the law, y'all. He said, we better take God seriously because in Galatians 6, chapter 6, verse 7, and this is going to be today's Bible verse, but it says, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, this he will also reap. So don't mock God. Instead, thank God thank you, the Lord, thank you, Jesus, that President Trump was not shot and killed that day by this boy, and I'm not even going to mention his name, y'all. I will not mention his name. It just doesn't need to be mentioned. But back to the former White House doctor, Congressman Ronnie Jackson, who we're calling Doc. He said the whole world watched President Trump being shot at by a high-powered rifle with a 5.5 6mm round traveling at 3,300 feet per second passed right by his head, next to his skull, taking off a piece of his ear. And I watched another video on the rifles. Oh my! I mean, it was incredible. President, it should have rattled his brain at the very least. Okay. But the doc goes on. He says he got up. People saw the blood. For people to say this was glass, it's absolutely insane. Glass from where? The teleprompters were intact. And I remember, I went back, I looked, I heard that, and I'm like, this is no glass. These are gunshots. I know this. Anyway, Doc said, after proving all this is real, this really happened, he said the president is doing well, but he wants people to know that President Trump almost died. If that bullet had been 1 to 2 centimeters towards his head, it would have entered his head. It would have done incredible damage. And this was a serious assassination attempt. But he, along with the American people, are grateful that President Trump is alive today. And Maria Bartiromo, she asked him if his ear would heal. And thankfully, he said it will heal. There was a lot of swelling. He had a CAT scan done, as Boxer Dad would say. They scanned his cat. The bullet could have caused so much more damage, but it didn't. But still, guys, y'all know that ear is going to be sore. So please continue to pray for President Trump and that his ear will heal quickly. Now, in this interview with Maria Bartiromo, the doctor, he continued and said he was in a meeting with the Secret Service after the shooting. And he said the head of the Secret Service, her name is Kimberly Cheatle, and I maybe mispronounced that. And y'all, she is testifying as I am making this video. I watched the first part of her testimony, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that here in just a minute. But Kimberly, he said, the doc said that Kimberly lied straight to his face. She told him that the Secret Service had not denied any resources at any point to President Trump that had been requested. And now we're finding out that that's not true. They have denied resources, and she either needs to resign or be fired. And y'all, I can hear President Trump saying, "You're fired." You can hear that, right? Remember on the show. Anyway, and so if Congress doesn't do anything, which they probably won't, and we know President Trump will be our president in a few short months, so he'll fire if they don't. But the doc talked about the difference between Joe and President Trump. And he says, Joe Biden can barely make it to the podium. He can't finish his sentence. And President Trump, after he was shot, where was he the next night? At the RNC. He's already done another rally. And then now, we've all heard that Joe is dropping out of the race. And he wrote a letter. Well, we don't know if he wrote a letter. Somebody wrote a letter signed by Joe's name. And I'm not going to even waste the time here reading it since it's mainly filled with just lies. But as of now, we don't know who will be running against President Trump. But Jesse Waters, he did not hold back last night on Fox News. He said that he wants to hear Joe say that he is leaving and why. The Democrats don't just get to push candidates out the side, out of the way, or nor do they get to just push candidates through the primary. Millions of Americans voted for Biden and for Harris. And if it doesn't look like they can win, rich guys at the convention, you think they can just come in and just push somebody else in there? That's just not how we do it in the United States. So Jesse, he continued. He said the entire Biden presidency was a cover-up. He goes on to say they got exposed on debate night, and now they want to pick another puppet, end quote. Can you say boom? I just was like, wow, can you believe he just said that? Anyway, Jesse said this should all have been hashed out in a primary, but they rigged it. And they kicked RFK Jr. out of the party. However, hours after Joe distributed his letter, he finally did endorse Kamala Harris. And then Hillary endorsed Kamala, but Barack has not endorsed her yet. So Jesse says that Kamala is more radical and incompetent than Joe Biden. And he's right, y'all. So this is all going to get very, very interesting. So next, as promised, Kim Cheatle, she's got cheat in her name, just pointing that out. She went before Congress today, Monday, July 22nd. And y'all, she needs prayer. That's all I can say. My guess is that I don't know this. I don't know her heart, just in the way she was acting and what she said. She said that Corey's family was in her thoughts, not in her prayers. She talked about how sorry she was that Sheila Jackson Lee passed, because she was apparently on this committee she was speaking to. But anybody that knows Sheila Jackson Lee, and y'all, I pray for her soul. I hope that before she died, she found Jesus. But she was an evil Democrat woman full of demons. But Kimberly says that she takes full responsibility of any security lapse of their agency. So I hope that she's she's telling the truth there. But she said she'll move heaven and earth. So apparently she maybe believes in heaven. I don't know, to ensure that this will not happen again. Now she said that the Secret Service's mission isn't political. But obviously Kimberly is, because this should have never, ever happened. The Secret Service has $3.1 billion with a B. That's their budget, $1 billion budget, and 8,000 employees. Yet Kimberly deflected almost every single question asked by the two Republicans that I watched. And there was just one Democrat that had asked her questions when I quit watching. Now, she really likes saying, well, we're just 9 days out. We're just 9 days out. We're just 9 days out. Because if I had $1 for every time she said for just 9 days out, Boxer Dad and I could go have a really nice lunch. But Jim Jordan, oh my goodness, don't you just love him? He asked her questions and ended with, so far you haven't answered a single question. Hopefully you'll get better as the day goes on. But y'all, she couldn't answer how many times they had denied President Trump resources in the past. She knew. We knew she knew. She knew the answer to all those questions. But you know what? I just stopped watching. I'll probably go back and watch more. But hopefully she is going to be fired along with all of the other dirty agents and people in the government. Y'all, just remember, their time is coming because January 2025 is right around the corner. And those 444,000 federally sealed indictments, they are not going away. So just remember that. Y'all have a wonderful day. God bless all of you, and give this video a thumbs up. Appreciate you.